Hey, good afternoon, folks. Chief Meteorologist Nick Lilia here. Easy for me to say. Let's take a look at your tropical update for June 26th of 2020. Brought by the good folks at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling. I can get that right. That's easy to say. Taking a look at where we're looking this time of the year, it's down into the Gulf of Mexico, into the Northwest Caribbean, and just off of the East Coast when we're talking about tropical development. As we get later and later into June, like we are now, and toward July, then we start looking out a little further into the Caribbean. We're not really into the time of the year yet where we look into the open Atlantic like we are in August and September. However, this time of the year, we do start to maybe look a little bit closer to the Greater and Lesser Antilles out there. And right now, there's really not much doing. Of course, all that African dust is really putting a lid on just about everything that's out there right now. You can kind of see that we've got really nothing doing across most of the Caribbean and even out into the open Atlantic. I know my pen's probably not showing up quite as well as it usually does, but we're looking pretty clear out there. And over the next couple of days, 700 millibar moisture, 850 vorticity map showing. Yeah, we may get a little wave that tries to kind of squeeze between one plume of African dust and the big plume that's hanging out over the Caribbean and everything else right now. In the last couple of days, the models have actually been showing this kind of developing and either curling back off to the north and east or maybe sliding back in and off to the west. But I'll say that in the last about 24 hours, and you can see what happens with this, the models have said, maybe not, and maybe it's just too dry out there for this thing to really get moving. And this is by Wednesday, the middle of next week, the start of July. As we head toward the 4th of July weekend, it looks like we'll have another little plume of dust kind of in drier air moving across parts of the Caribbean and toward the Gulf of Mexico, putting a lid basically on anything that may happen out there in the tropics, keeping us, thankfully, nice and quiet. So there's a look at your tropical update for June 26th of 2020, brought to you by the good folks over there at Pine Belt Gutters and Remodeling.